Hello, my name is Thomas. Welcome to British Culture Albion Never Dies. This is the first episode that I've released in about 3 months, and it is just a quick kind of a voice message. Really, I'm recording this on my phone as I walk along. Earlier today, I met the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. I got a private invitation to a small event where I got to shake hands and have a few words, so I just thought I'd drop a few observations about that. If you're wondering where I've been, then do check out my Instagram, perhaps sign up to the newsletter. I've had some good reasons not to be putting out podcasts, and I'll be focusing on family certainly for the next couple of months, perhaps the next 3 months. Not quite sure of timing. But anyway, it is election season here in the UK. The Prime Minister called a surprise election, a huge surprise to his own party, some of his own members of Parliament, because we'd expected a general election around about August. And of course, we don't have locked cycles. You can call an election pretty much whenever you like if you're Prime Minister, although generally it will be, every 4 years, every 5 years, and there is a limit. There is a fixed limit on the Parliament. So there's a time when he must call an election, but we're not quite there yet. So he called it early, a summer election, and it took quite a lot of people by surprise. I've been following all the debates, which our elections are only 6 weeks long, which I guess is a surprise to most Americans, and to be fair, quite a few people around the world. 6 weeks only, and the election is not a direct vote for the Prime Minister, no matter what the media coverage may suggest. It is a vote simultaneously in 650 separate constituencies. You vote for your local representative. They happen to be a member of a party, and it's the leader of that party who becomes Prime Minister. Of course, once they become Prime Minister, doesn't guarantee they'll stay there for even a few months, as we learned with Liz Truss very, very recently. And of course, if it turns out they're not good at their job, if they've lost confidence, their own party can take them down without the necessity of a general election. So as I say, this general election is 650 simultaneous, really, constituency votes. You vote for your own person, but with a general election, it does in effect tell you who the Prime Minister is going to be, and so people have been focusing more and more, including on these television debates, which didn't used to be a thing, well, until I hesitate to give a date. I could have looked this up, but I'm just walking along in a field. So I'm just walking along. I don't have the numbers to hand, but I remember it was David Cameron who was the Prime Minister and is now the Foreign Secretary. I received a private note saying that there would be an event with a senior cabinet member. I received that yesterday with a quick time on it, but it was more of a slot, an availability slot when it might be, and there was very, very few details. There are a very limited number of senior cabinet members, so it might have been the Foreign Secretary. That's more what I was expecting. The Prime Minister has been around in the north of England, which is where I'm based, so that was a possibility. And of course there's the Chancellor, and I suppose you could stretch the term to the Home Secretary and so on. To my mind, if you're in the cabinet, it's pretty senior already. But as I say, I got this slightly vague email about a senior member of the cabinet. I managed to block out the time, square with work that I'd be heading out a bit early to get there, and really as I was on my way I was getting more and more details about security, which rather let me know that it might be indeed one of the great offices of state. Now I got to the venue first, at least in terms of the people who were invited, and I was told I could basically go away and come back later, or I could sit in a comfortable chair in the foyer of the big building. And so I waited in the foyer, and I could hear the Prime Minister coming. right? Because if you're the Prime Minister on a campaign trail, one thing is guaranteed: you will have protests everywhere you go. They just follow the Prime Minister around. And so I heard a huge noise kind of coming towards the building. And of course, some very, very, very discreet security and arrangements being made before he steps into the building. I see him, and then a few of the other invited guests are kind of funneled through security to come, and then again go up into a small room. We all had a chance to listen to a speech, meet and greet, share a few words, and of course I couldn't resist having my photo taken. Thank you very much to the young man who took it. Had my photo taken with Rishi Sunak, currently Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Of course, we will have that general election on July the 4th, 4th of July, notable date, and that will determine, in effect, not just who your local MP is, it will determine who is the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, whether it's Rishi Sunak again, or whether it is Sir Keir Starmer, leader of the Labour Party, the two most likely candidates. So, very quick ramble as I go along. First podcast in a few months, and there probably won't be another one for quite some time. If you want to get in touch with me, Instagram's always the easiest way. Fleming Never Dies, where I've been sharing more and more of my Bond content. Of course, you can email me, albionneverdies@gmail.com, and I've been sending out a monthly newsletter, so if you're interested in that, just send me a message, however, and I'll add you to that. I hope you're well, and I hope you're enjoying all the British news that's going on. Thanks for listening. See you later.